But now I want to go on a little bit of a rant about late night talk show hosts. And this is based on a conversation I had with an acquaintance about how bad late night talk show hosts' audio is now that they're being required to record and broadcast from home. And I have a few different theories about why the audio is so bad. First, they don't know what they're doing, which, in my opinion, is probably the most likely scenario. Secondly, they misunderstand the standards on YouTube and assume that low quality is what it takes to be successful on YouTube, which is just insane. And third, they think it makes them more relatable. Having bad audio quality, having bad quality video, because the masses are terrible at creating content, so this makes me more relatable. And I want to address each of these ideas. As far as number one, them not knowing what they're doing, which again, I do think is the most likely, it's true that these are hosts. They are the talent. They are not audio engineers. They don't know the first thing about microphones. However, they do work at studios, which do have audio teams. This did not come out of the blue. This work from home did not come out of the blue. Everybody could see this coming down the highway a million miles away. So what could have happened is they could have said, hey, you are going to be broadcasting from home. Here is a camera. Here is a microphone. We are going to train you on this for a day. We don't even have to train you in person. The internet exists. We can train you from afar. We can teleconference and teach you how to use it. It would not have been hard for the networks to say, hey, host Bob, Billy, Bobbers, you are fully aware that you have to continue to work from home and broadcast from home if you want to continue to be paid for your job. This is Jim. Jim works in the audio video department. Hey, Jim, what do you think that Bob, Billy, Bobbers needs to do to get the best quality out of what he creates at home? Do you need a new microphone? Do you need assistance setting up that microphone and getting the correct settings? Do you need a new camera? We are a television network. We have the budgets. We have all of the tools here. Take this home with you and we will help you set it up. That would not have been hard. Alas, they did not. And these late night talk show hosts are streaming from home or recording at home with their internal camera microphones or their laptop microphones. The second option is that these networks and these hosts misunderstand the standards of YouTube and assume that bad quality is the norm and that is what it takes to be a successful YouTuber. And the reason I have this idea is, to a lot of mainstream media folks, YouTuber is a derogatory term. Oh, you're just a YouTuber. You must make crappy content sitting in your bathroom in the bathtub with a microphone 12 feet away. It seems that's the perception that a lot of the mainstream media folks have of online content creators. It's lower quality than what we make. Therefore, as soon as these people realize that they are going to be working from home, they seem to have thought, well, you know what? I can take a little bit of a vacation and not put in as much work because the audio and video quality is terrible and the content quality is terrible. If the networks or any of these hosts did an iota of research, they would have realized that YouTubers do have standards and they have amazing sounding videos and extremely high quality content, which is why YouTubers are eating your lunch. Why online content creators are eating your lunch, because they are making content that resonates with the audience, unlike you. That is why it's happening. However, they don't think that's the case, and you can see it very clearly with the quality of content and production with these at-home broadcasts. And the third option is they think that this makes it more relatable, that they sound like crap. And if their goal is to be more relatable by sounding like crap, that is absolutely insane. As I just said, YouTubers and podcasters have extremely high standards when it comes to audio. Yes, if you went back to 2006, 2007, the majority of viral videos were shot on a camera phone and they sounded like garbage. That was 14 years ago. The expectations and standards that people have for online content creation has jumped up leaps and bounds over the last decade. You cannot just assume, well, if I make bad quality stuff, it makes me relatable. No, it doesn't. It doesn't make you relatable. It just makes it abundantly clear how talentless you are when you don't have a dozen people writing for you. There are so many YouTubers who I believe would do a much better job than you are doing in this position, both in terms of production quality, in terms of relatability, in terms of quality of content. However, guess what? If they were offered your position, they probably wouldn't take it. Of course, we have to omit Lilly Singh from that because she was offered the job, she took it, but the majority of us would not want your job even if it was offered to us on a silver platter. Do you want to know why? We are free to make whatever content we want. We can do whatever the hell we want, whenever the hell we want to do it. You, however, are at the whim of the network. You have to do whatever they tell you to do because they are signing your paycheck. Yes, in theory, YouTubers do have their checks signed by Google, but they don't dictate what we have to do. They just dictate what we can't do. There's a very big difference there, and it is getting a little bit more restricted on YouTube, to be completely fair, but there are other video platforms that you can use, and you can be audience funded to avoid any concerns about losing your income stream. It is so much more free if you are an online content creator, and I don't think the majority of online content creators would want the job of a late night host because it seems like an absolute nightmare. Now, because I know all of these late night talk show hosts and audio video folks and network executives are watching this show in particular, let me go ahead and offer a few pieces of advice on how to get better at creating online content. First off, ask your audio team to teleconference with you and help you pick out an external microphone and help you set it up and get the best settings and get the best recording. That will help tremendously with the production quality. Video is not the most important aspect of the video you're producing. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but how are you conveying the majority of information in your television show, in your online video? Through spoken word. That is why audio is much more important than video. You could have 8K raw, the best looking video ever, but if you sound like you're recording in a cathedral with a microphone 1,000 feet away, people are going to click off because they won't be able to understand the information you're trying to convey. Secondly, order some sound blankets from the internet or ask the networks that you're working for if they have any that you would be able to use. A lot of the sound quality that I have seen in these late night recordings is they are echoey. They are very reverberant because they live in these massive mansions and they don't have sound treatment. Get a couple C-stands, get a couple sound blankets, put them up in the room while you're recording. Then you can have your maid tear it down because you're such wealthy sons of guns. Have your maid set it up for you, you scumbags. Do something about it. Or be like Conan O'Brien. Conan O'Brien recorded on not his balcony, but in his patio. So he was outside, so there wasn't as much reverb. Do something to reduce the amount of reverb in your recordings. Third, be relatable in your personality, not in your production quality. What I mean by that is having terrible sounding and terrible looking video does not make you relatable. You could have the best looking and best sounding recording or the worst looking and worst sounding recording, and that does not affect your relatability. What does affect your relatability is your personality and the information you're conveying and the way you're talking to your audience. Let me tell you a little secret. Recording in a multi-million-dollar mansion with the echoes and you can see the maid cleaning up behind you. I don't know if that's happened. I am just creating this straw man in my head of what they are. But being relatable in personality and what you're doing is actually relatable. Production quality has nothing to do with your relatability. There you go. That is my rant. I am sick and tired of these people who have million-dollar paychecks and teams of dozens of people, multiple of which are audio and video folks, and they still have terrible sounding and terrible looking productions. Get on top of it. You are the standard that everybody is looking up to. It's ridiculous. Do your job.